All right, 25 minutes in front of 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. Welcome back into the post-game show. Jay and Terry with you live from Craft and Craft on Divine Street. Come on out. Tons of excellent selections on tap in the cooler, ready for you to take home.
And obviously, if you're looking at the live stream, you can see all the different beverages
you see some
in the background.
Yeah, this is about what you see on the live stream is about, I would say, 5% of what's currently available.
This place is great, man.
Oh, it is.
It's so cool.
It's become, in a relatively short amount of time, it's become a neighborhood institution.
I don't disagree.
And as someone who grew up about 1, 2, 3,
Which way?
4, 5, 6 blocks that way, and
that
one
way?
block
Which
over.
Way? Which way?
That way.
And then where?
One block over. That way.
Over. Okay.
Yep. I don't know what it would have been. Well, of course, I say that, but when I was growing up in this neighborhood, I was not old enough to.
And you never would have drank until you were legal age.
Well, I don't think they would.
Well, you wouldn't. They wouldn't have allowed you here anyway.
They're a little.
Well, you wouldn't even try because it was illegal.
Correct.
And you wouldn't have done that.
Not here.
As a young Jay Phillips.
Not here. I would not have tried.
In what places would you have tried? Just hypothetically, Jay. Just hypothetically.
Sharky's.
So we're around here now, right?
That's right down there. And I might.
Let me ask you. Did you? How old? You look older than your age.
No, I don't think so.
I look 12.
I don't think so.
The day before I turned legal age, right? I go into this liquor store. They, by the way, carded no one.
Yeah.
You could have gone in there on a big wheel and he'd have given you beer. Right?
Yeah. Sure.
I walked in the day before. He goes, "Can I see some ID?" I like, "You're serious?" I go in the next day. I'm legal. Didn't card me.
Yeah.
I was so mad. I was going to hold my license. Go, come on, dude. Card me. Let's go, jerky. Wouldn't card me.
So, okay.
Did you ever try?
My birthday's in October.
Uh-huh.
And on Halloween, the year I turned 21, we went to, where do we go? Now I'm trying to think. Rockaways. Down this way.
Down that
Rosewood.
way?
Yeah, that way, on Rosewood. With the Rockaways. It was Halloween. So I'd been 21 for some days. Right? And the bouncer or whatever, because they were having some kind of Halloween thing. And the guy was like a real jerk. He's like, "Happy birthday." Like I was like, dude.
Bro, what's up?
Like why you like
deal,
what is, I'm not lying to you.
Right.
Like
I just said you were 39.
He could have gone like, "Hey man, happy birthday."
Right.
He was like, "Happy birthday."
Like
I'm lying to him. We're like, I finally got it. Like, "Hey, I'm spending money in your establishment."
Tell the truth. Did you ever try before you were legal age? Or were you too scared? It's okay. I only tried once. That one right before my birthday.
Like
I never tried.
Just walk into it.
See if I could get one. See if you could get served.
No, I didn't, Terry. But I there's a reason for that. I may have had the ability to go in anyway.
Well, then you didn't have to. Then
I may have.
Good. Maybe.
I may have.
Now I'll tell you honestly.
No, I didn't.
That's the only time I ever tried.
I didn't ever try to do that.
That's the only time, the day before my birthday.
I don't want to. I didn't want to get in trouble.
Same here. Look,
here's the thing. It's not like I was scared of whatever. Like I didn't want to make my mom like mad at me.
I don't care about that. I hate that kind of stuff from my dad. But my thing is, I didn't know what happened. Like if you was this guy going to call the cops on me? You have to was just a runner from the law?
Usually they
kick you out, right?
They just pat you on the back and say, "Nice try, kid."
I just knew. Again, I look 14. I looked 14 when I was 30.
Yeah, no.
I got carded when I was 35, man. Yeah. So I just didn't do it because I knew I would. I was scared to get. I was going to get busted.
There may have been a couple places in 5 Points that didn't care.
I didn't even try at the beach. Everybody tried at the building. Tried at the beach. It was lost cause.
Well, at the beach, you just hope to get somebody.
Exactly. Well, I would just say hypothetically, that's what we did when I was young.
We really shouldn't be talking about.
No, we shouldn't. Hypothetically,
despite the fact that we're as old as we are now, no statute of limitations. We're sending a bad message to you kids out there.
Hey, mister,
don't try this at home.
We're telling you the things not to do.
Let's get back into it here because we're also at a place where they're very responsible, and I feel like we're not taking responsibility seriously enough. Lenora was indeed voted by the SEC media as the first team preseason all-conference quarterback. Again, mildly. But as Terry also said, pleasantly surprised. We're here for those of us that are locals. Contrevious and Le'Veon Moss of Texas and Texas A&M, respectively, for your first-team running back. I would imagine Ryan Williams is probably one of the few unanimous first-team
That was
picks.
the easy one, right?
They don't tell us unanimous. Actually, I would say that he and Eli Stowers, that tight end probably too. Cam Coleman as your other wide receiver, along with Ryan Wade. How funny is that, right? Like the two Texas schools have top running backs, two Alabama schools have the wide receivers. Eli Stowers of Vandy is indeed the first team tight end. He's the best in the league for sure. Caden Proctor, for the formerly mentioned offensive lineman from Bama, along with Caden Green of Missouri, DJ Campbell of Texas, Austin Barber of Florida are your O linemen. Jake Slaughter of Florida has been voted the first team center by the SEC media. Let me come back around to because I don't want to go into the offenses yet. Let's go to first team defense now. Up front, Keldrick Falk of Auburn, Dylan Stewart of South Carolina, Colin Simmons of Texas, Christian Miller of Georgia are your D linemen. They don't differentiate between interior and edge, so you just pick. They made us pick 8.
Yep.
So that was a lot.
That was
and they just tally them up. At linebacker, Anthony Hill of Texas, Whit Weeks of LSU, C.J. Allen of Georgia. And in the backfield, K.J. Bolden of Georgia, Michael Taff of Texas, Dalen Everett from Georgia, and Jamad McCoy of Tennessee. So those are your first-team offensive and defensive players. And, again, Georgia swept the first-team specialists. Punter, Brett Thorson. Kicker, Peyton Woodring. Long snapper, Bo Gardner. Peyton Woodring again for kickoff. Zachariah Branch for both return specialist and all-purpose performer.
If Bobo uses Branch correctly, he could be a massive weapon for Georgia.
Yeah.
The ball, man, just find ways to get the rock in his hands.
I don't disagree, and that'll be ways, I think, to open things up for Georgia. How much more creative Mike Bobo gets through the run game is going to be interesting. That's what Georgia's going to have to do this year. And here's the thing. Last year was a so-called down year for Georgia, and they won the Southeast.
Right.
I think if Georgia runs the football more effectively, even by, say, 10 or 20%, they beat Alabama. They should have beaten.
They should have beat Alabama.
Absolutely. It was a late defensive lapse to let Alabama win that football game. And what was Georgia's other loss?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
They got thumped.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Ole Miss was gunning for that one.
So,
and they lost, obviously, to Notre Dame.
And then, in the playoffs. And again, one of the great. That was they threw us back to like.
That goes to your point right there. That's a game Georgia in the last so many years wins by running the ball.
The Notre Dame game.
Yeah, the Notre Dame game.
They
win that game by running the football. Both teams are struggling to pass. There's a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks. In the past, Georgia says, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to turn and hand it off 40 times and beat you. Right. They couldn't do it. That offensive line last year had a ton of veterans. They just underachieved, Jay.
Yeah, and remember in that game, technically the Georgia defense gave up a touchdown, but what was it, like a 6-yard thing because they had a turnover, and then the other one was the kickoff return for Notre Dame.
I mean, Georgia's defense was good. Look, Georgia's defense was good enough last year.
Yeah.
It was offensively, for some reason, it was like they were skipping a piston all year on the offensive side of the ball.
Because they couldn't run.
They just couldn't
run.
Again,
that's the irony of ironies in the SEC is that Georgia wins the Southeastern Conference in a year where they can't run the football.
I know. I like Nate Frazier a lot. I put him on he was one of my guys that I picked. If that offensive line gets back to being what it has been for years, Frazier can do some damage if you give him the opportunity. Look, we've all kind of pushed Georgia to the side, and Texas is the new shiny thing, right?
No,
I put Georgia number one, man.
So you and I might be on a smaller island. But
until you beat them,
that's what I say.
I just can't.
I remind people. Some guy, and it was just I happened to see Stuart Mandel's tweet, so I just replied. I rarely do this, but today I replied to some random guy on Twitter who said now Texas is expected to dominate the SEC. I was like, well, win and dominate are not synonymous. I was like, Texas lost to Georgia twice last year, and neither game was in Athens.
Right.
Like, don't forget that.
Hey, look, Georgia, with their starting quarterback, knocked silly.
Right.
And had to look at our poor boy Gunner Stockton. Hey, Gunner, you know what? Put your uniform on, get in the game.
You're in.
And Georgia found a way to win that game. So let's not. I know people love Texas so much, want them to be so this and that, right? They do.
Some people.
But dude, Georgia, man, till you knock them off, bro.
Yeah. We'll come back. Terry's going to open the vault as we are live at Craft and Draft on a Friday afternoon in Columbia, South Carolina. It's the postgame.
They use the go.
Welcome back in. Post-game show rolling on from Craft and Draft on Divine Street. Come by and say hey if you've never been here before. Corner of and Woodruff Street. So about third of a mile. The hill on 5 points. 5 points?
Probably.
I don't know.
Something like that.
A few blocks.
Hmm?
When we go to St. Patrick's Day, we park up this way and then walk.
More important, it's only a few minutes from Jay Phillips' house.
The most important.
Yeah,
I didn't want to say that out loud.
That's
But
why
I'm
I'm
glad
here.
you did.
Yeah, I'm here. Here to help.
I'm glad you did. Yeah, yeah. I can't walk. It takes me a little while to walk. It's not that.
Plus, at your age, you'll be walking anyway.
Man, I got all my steps in more in Atlanta.
You're
Go back and forth, walking around the radio road
I'm
over
gonna give
to the
you props,
hotel.
man. You were running all over the place. I did a good guess. You did
That's-
good.
well, that's-
You did good, man.
you know, if we're not getting what
Uh-huh.
it's just,
Yeah.
you know, it's like a convention for us.
Hustler.
You know,
I
I
give
do,
you
I
props.
do what I can from time to time.
I was just sitting there like eating blondies and brownies and stuff.
You did enjoy the dessert.
Yes,
I don't know
yeah.
how you stay as thin as you do and eat the desserts you eat, man.
Man, I love me some dessert.
Yes, you do.
I love me some
I
dessert.
saw that firsthand yesterday, especially.
Your face is good when you saw my dessert plate.
Anyway,
I just eat dinner to get the dessert. That's
I,
kind of my thing.
I don't think you're lying, so that's good.
A good vault today, sir. Sponsored by Purple Wave Auctions.
Let's
You
do
want to hear
it.
this?
Let's do it.
Multiple major cheats.
Okay.
I'll save the best one for last.
Terry Ford eats lots of desserts.
Terry Ford most desserts in one city in the history of SEC Media Days on this day in 2025.
That's an accurate.
1970, Willie Mays gets his 3,000th hit.
All right.
People will say, who watched baseball for many, many, many decades,
Yeah.
greatest player ever.
Probably so. I didn't get to see. All I know is when I read and the highlights I see and I get it. I don't have any pushback.
Oh, no.
I'll say that much.
Good hit for power, hit for average. Fantastic defender.
Yeah.
Could steal bags, run
Yeah.
the bases.
Five tool
Really
plus.
good arm.
5
Yep.
tool plus.
Remember that iconic play that we see against Cleveland in the 54 World Series? He makes a basket catch. What people forget is he turns around and wheels that throw back to the
back home.
infield
Yeah.
for the double play.
Yeah.
This day, 1987. This is. I remembered this after I read this.
Okay.
1987. Don Mattingly ties Dale Long's 31-year-old major league record by homering in his 8th consecutive game. 8 straight.
Yeah, I remember that. I wouldn't necessarily have told you when it was, because again, Terry, if we're going back to the summer of 1987, I was working in Myrtle Beach.
So you don't remember much of anything. You're kind of in a hazy fog from that whole.
No. Again, I remember plenty. I was just more in tune with what I was doing in Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach in 1987.
And
What kind of fun were you
and
having?
working.
What kind of fun were you having?
Well, the kind of fun that high school try to have it.
Really? I don't understand what that means.
Playing a lot of beach volleyball.
All right, this is the best one.
You're getting in trouble.
I'm
We're going to
trying,
get
man.
ourselves in
I'm
trouble
trying.
today. We really need to be careful.
This is interesting. This day in 1921, Babe Ruth becomes the all-time home run leader in Major League Baseball. You want to hear how many home runs?
1921. He hit 714 total. So 600. He was probably at like 300.
139 for the
Oh,
homers.
wow. Okay.
He passes the great Roger Connor.
I don't remember Roger.
Wasn't Roseanne married on the show? It was Dan.
Yeah, Dan. I was going to
My
say,
bad.
what is his name? Dan.
Roger
You
Connor.
know what? I know it ran for a long time, and I love John Goodman.
Yeah, John
Do you
Goodman's
know how many? I probably watched, like, if you said over under 3.5 episodes of Roseanne, it's probably the under because I can't do Roseanne.
She annoyed you?
Can't do Roseanne.
I'll say I watched.
John Goodman, though, reverence for John
I
Goodman.
love John Goodman. John Goodman in Big Lebowski is one of the greatest characters of all time
Agreed.
in a movie for me.
Agreed.
Oh my god! But I tell you that I watched probably maybe 10 episodes of the first season. I
Yeah.
thought the first season was really good. The
I
dynamic
gave
of
it
the
a whirl.
family.
I might have been more than 3,
But
I
I'll say
gave
this:
it a whirl.
I get what you're saying about her. I'll say that. You ever seen her stand up?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I remember her stand-up was.
I thought
mean,
her
she
stand up
was
was pretty funny. Yeah,
That's how she
Yeah.
got the show.
I think
she was
as
funny.
the show goes on as the years, so it starts to wear on you.
I didn't.
a little bit.
It just. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. That's a nice way to put it. So I'll leave it at that.
But there you go. So Roger Connors was at one point the all-time home run leader in Major League Baseball in the early 1920s.
I guess people weren't very fast to get more of those inside the park jobs either, right?
Well, I mean, remember that dead ball era? Remember baseball? Let me talk about this.
I don't remember the dead ball era.
Yeah, you were in high school.
Sorry.
Stop it.
Sorry.
They didn't hit home runs, man. Like the like the league leader would be 9. You know what I mean?
I like the way you asked me that. You're like, do you remember the dead ball era of the 20s?
I didn't say that like you remember that, bud. You and I were during the game. You, me, and Grease Nelson and Horsehide McGurk. You were going to the games together. We were kids.
We'll come back on the other side. More of the media picks from SEC Media Days. And do I agree with Eli Drinkwitz?
Oh.
Hour 2 coming up.
By the way, nice job on this, Ed. All right, 3, 2, 1. On the interstates, 20, 46, and 77 traffic flowing real smooth right now. No major collisions. Full closures have been reported as of yet. Yellow red zones appear around I-20, 77 and Malfunction Junction. Likely due to continuing Carolina Crossroads construction that we've been seeing for the last 50 years, involving lane shifts and modified ramps. Also, conditions look good overall. No significant backups or incidents detected at 2 Notch Road, Carter's Ferry, or Elmwood Avenue. And that's the latest traffic. I'm a terrible traffic person. I am awful. Thank you.
All right, 4 o'clock on a Friday. Welcome back in. Post-game show rolling on from Craft and Draft on Divine Street, just up from 5. With you, third National Control this afternoon as we are back in Columbia after our, most of our week in Atlanta at SEC Media Days. The SEC Media preseason picks are out. LaNorris Sellers has been voted the first team preseason quarterback. South Carolina picked 5th overall by the assembled media.
Dylan, their first team. Jalen's second team is nice. I like that.
Yeah, and I figured that would be right. Yeah, Dylan Stewart. Dylan Stewart, I thought, was the easiest choice.
Yeah.
For Carolina, but again, pleasantly, I thought LaNorris would be second.
I thought he should have been no worse than second team. And again, nothing against our community. A nice little fella, nice guy, Manning family. I just think that you put him ahead of Nussmeier and Sellers. I think you're doing a disservice. I think it's fair.
Right. I don't disagree with you. I suppose that's the thing about the preseason vote is that we're predicting.
Right.
I say we, 200 whatever people voted.
Mm-hmm. I still know about Arch Manning.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's fair. Here is how the media voted the Southeastern Conference. They picked Texas to win the league, barely over Georgia. In terms of points, 3,060 to 2,957, so just over 100 points. But you get the scale there, and I don't know how the league tallies points and all that. I guess you get 16 for first, 15 for second, and so on, and then they tally them up. So it's not that big a gap if you look at the scale of points. Again, 3,060 to 2,957 for Georgia. Alabama picked 3rd, LSU 4th. I had all those schools in my top 4, but I didn't have any of them in the same slot.
All right, ready? Out of those 4, which one is confident in?
Alabama. Me too. Just because probably based on last year, but I know all 4 of those teams are loaded with talent.
For me personally, it comes to Ty Simpson, starting quarterback. Yeah. I mean, he's been there 3 years. Remember, they gave him a chance to win the starting job. Yeah. Couldn't do it. Milroe got the starting job 2 years ago. Milroe struggled against South Florida. They put Simpson back in there. He was terrible. The Milroe got the job back again.
You talk about the game in Tampa?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, you know how I feel about that game.
I know. That was proven a point game.
Yeah.
That was Nick proving a point.
Was Nick. He was like, hey, everything that we did in August, we're going to go back to what we used to do because it's clear y'all aren't going to be able to score 40 points a game. So we're going to have to win scoring 20.
So
he broke it all down.
And look, there's nothing against Tyson. I mean, that was a while back now. He could have grown. He's gotten experience. Kalen DeBoer and Grubb are really good offensive minds. I just think out of those 4, though, my biggest question mark is Tyson. I have more confidence in Gunnar Stockton.
Oh, I definitely do.
It's not even close.
I like – listen, I don't think there is real separation between Carson Beck and Gunnar Stockton other than their experience level. That's it. I mean, Beck is solid. Don't get me wrong. But so is Stockton. He's going to be fine. Again, they got to run the ball, man. Running the ball, quarterback.
Yep. So great defense and a run.
So, that Stockton's going to be fine. And Manning's going to be fine. And LaNorris is going to be fine. Carolina was picked. And Nussmeier, again,
I'll say this,
only returning 4,000-yard passer.
As much as I sit here and say, well, Arch Manning, this and that, I just believe that Sellers should be ahead of Arch Manning. But if you ask me what I think Arch Manning, I think Arch Manning's going to be really good.
Yeah.
I don't,
and that's what it was, by the way. Sellers, Nussmeier, and Manning, first, second, 13.
I put Mateer 3rd.
I put Taylor Green.
I think Green's good. I think Green's good.
But I could have put Lagway. I didn't think about Mateer, to be honest with you. I thought about those 5. I thought about Manning. We'll see. Carolina picked 5th behind LSU.
I like it.
Florida picked 6th. Mississippi 7th. A&M 8th. Tennessee 9th. Oklahoma 10th. God, they got to just be, what the hell? Auburn 11. Missouri 12. Vanderbilt 13. Arkansas 14. Kentucky 15. Mississippi State 16. And I genuinely believe Ooh, man. Based on how the media vote went, I think from South Carolina to Missouri,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I think any of those teams could finish anywhere. And you know what? I'd love to know what the odds are on like all of those teams finishing. And this is not me predicting this, but saying, what are the odds they all finish 4-4?
Honestly, man,
Yeah.
it's funny you said that because when I was filling mine out, I said, from 5 to like was it 12. I was like, man, you can almost put these teams in a hat and pull them out because I think it was the points of the voting. South Carolina's got 2109, Florida's in it in 1986, Ole Miss 1979, A&M's 1892. There's not a big separation in all these teams. Look, and
I want to make a joke about Texas A&M playing in 1892. There's a thing there. I'm sorry.
You remember 1892? We used to watch A&M.
The dead ball era,
the dead ball era.
Yes,
Sure.
Right, sure.
Okay, out of that lump of teams, everybody's got this lump of teams.
Well, everybody has question marks.
Let's put South Carolina aside for a minute.
Everybody has question marks.
Move South Carolina aside. But from 5 to 12, which one of those do you like better than others? Is there a team like that you say, you know what, I see where they're finishing in the poll, but I like them better than that?
Tennessee.
Where'd you have Tennessee?
6, South Carolina.
I think Josh Heupel is a good coach. I forgot where I put Tennessee. 8th. I put Tennessee 8th. I like A&M better than I think some people.
Tennessee made the playoff. Tennessee won 10 games. Yes, Tennessee's going to have a new quarterback. Yes, Tennessee still in the Samson. Yes, Tennessee loses James Pierce. But Josh Heupel, again, I was telling you the other day on our show, it's not just after listening to him, but it was after doing doing some reading on Tennessee and the way we do things and hearing things at Media Day. And like Josh Heupel can point so much fact about what he's done while he's been at UT. It makes you believe they're continuing to trend in the right direction. Now, they will, but it just, you and I talked about it. I don't want to sit here. We're not going to rehash the Pruitt era.
Right.
But Heupel took over, and Danny White, the AD, they took over. Dumpster fire is not. But Heupel has, again, Samson wasn't running back in all the years, Terry. It's the only 4-year stretch in the history of Tennessee football, which, by the way, is a good history long term. The only 4-year stretch where they running the ball for more than 2,500 yards in every one of those seasons. So that's not about what he can do with his quarterbacks, because he knows, like I just said, you better be able to well run the football in this conference, and they do.
And that offense, we get so caught up in that. You and I remember we had that deep dive in that offense a few years ago. Think about that offense, Jose. Spread you from sideline to sideline. You can't load the box to stop running back. So if your offensive line wins and you're running back to break a tackle, sometimes you're going 5 yards before contact. That offense kills running the football just by the scheme of it.
Yeah.
So that's a dirty little secret of Tennessee football is how good they run.
To me, it's a lot like, remember the best Malzahn years at Auburn were the hurry up and run years, because they weren't great at throwing the football, but they had the same kind of spread formation, but again, and they hurry up and run. Heupel has taken a lot of that, but he's found ways to be more effective through the air, because that's what he is good at doing. So to answer your question, I come back. I have a lot of confidence in Tennessee. I mean, again, it wasn't a fluke Tennessee won 10. It wasn't a fluke that they beat Alabama. 2-2 against Alabama after they had beaten Alabama since like
1892.
Yeah,
it feels. I'm with you. I have said I had a big question mark on Heupel, but he's proven that he can win and win big at Tennessee. That's the thing with this. When I was doing my predicted order of finish, it was quarterbacks and head coaches. Quarterbacks that have been in the system, that are returning, and then coaches that I had the most confidence in. Because in this crazy world we live in now, what's the one constant? Head coach, right? And then if you can have a constant quarterback, you're pretty much you're ahead of the game. Like for example, I have Florida down a little bit less than other people because I just don't. I like Billy Napier. It's not just Billy Napier. I just have to Billy Napier win big. He hasn't won big, obviously. Again, 1 10-win season at Oklahoma for Brent Venables, that's fine. But we've seen mediocre sandwiched around
in
him.
between
Yeah.
6 and 7,
So I'm
or at
just
least 6 and 6.
I don't have a lot
let's
of
say.
confidence in Venables. Hugh Freeze, the second act in the SEC hasn't been very impressive so far.
No, it isn't.
So I'm not big on the Hugh Freeze thing either. I have much more confidence, and I just say this out loud, like Eli Drinkwitz, because he's had back-to-back 10-win seasons.
I just think, again, I don't. Yeah, he's got the coaching. He's a terrific, in my opinion, scheme guy. Does he have? I come back around to some of the things you've been saying. Does he? He does not have a like for like for Luther Burden.
Right.
Pegula may be that guy. I don't think he's exactly what Cook was at quarterback. And help me out on the defensive line.
Walker from last year, Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. I don't know if they can replace that directly for like. They do have a pretty experienced line returning up front for that offense.
It's like,
and he knows how to break down film and scheme against you.
The next step for him is like, okay, you're a program builder, right?
Yeah.
Is this thing going to be a program you're building, or just have a nice 2-year run? We'll find out $250 million facilities they put money into, $250 million facilities there. Remember they have some interesting, and I know the world's changed now, but they got people there who want to throw money at that program. I'm with you. I can see Drinkwitz leaving for the right gig just because what's the ceiling on Missouri?
He's close to it.
But I just think I have more confidence in Drinkwitz than I do Freeze or Venables at this point. So if you ask me who I'm putting ahead of who, I'll put Missouri ahead of those two programs because I have more confidence in Drinkwitz.
It'd be interesting as you say this, and this is part of what we do. Like Eli Drinkwitz at Auburn. You know what I mean?
At Auburn, if Venables soils himself this year, could he go to Oklahoma? I don't know about that one.
It's not that I don't think he can handle Oklahoma. He could. I think he could. I don't know if he's.
They might go bigger fishing.
Yeah. I just don't know if he's the guy they're looking for.
Well, Nick will be available, right? He got an itch. Nick's got an itch.
But I could see. Look, Oklahoma don't have to be all that far apart. I mean. Anyway, I don't know. I'm with you. Again, Drinkwitz.
I guess he Drinkwitz at Auburn.
And we'll talk more about him in a little bit with some other things going on.
It's really interesting that Ole Miss was 7th in this whole thing. Is this surprise Ole Miss?
It did. I don't have near. I mean, again, to see that the media vote had A&M and Tennessee behind Mississippi was surprising. And I think that's probably a nod correctly to what Lane is able to do. He's kind of like what Heupel's doing. He's got now fact to point to in terms of what he's able to get out of his quarterbacks, no matter who they are. He's got a new one to bring in, but he's shown he can do it. So a little bit.
Maybe a little higher.
I don't know. I don't know. I like Tennessee. Since you asked me, and that's why I right from Carolina. So we'll see. Kentucky,
Yeah.
Vandy ahead of Arkansas is not really a surprise. But you know what?
Yeah.
Poor
guy suffered enough
to at least get that kind of nod. Now you got to go win football games.
I know.
So.
You ready for this? Hey, man, you're getting picked 12. No pressure.
I know, right? It's kind of funny. All right, lots more to do. We are in Craft the Draft on Divine Street. Come say, hey, we'll tell you what's going on. All right, welcome back in. Post-game show rolling on this Friday. Jay and Terry with you live at Craft and Draft, Divine Street, corner of Woodrow, just up the 5 minutes. This location. We've been to the Irmo location. We got a lot of beer here, too.
A lot of beer?
A lot of beer.
Beer here?
Yep.
Really?
A lot of it. So come out and say hey.
How much of this have you sampled just
Well,
in percentage?
honestly, yeah, as a percentage, not as much as you would think, only because I'm an IPA guy that I do order out. I'm not a big fan. I like a few other things here or there, but I stick to the IPAs, man.
You are an IPA.
I've,
Oh, man.
it's like I'm a jam band guy. Yeah, music diversity is far broad than my
You're
beer.
kind of a little diverse on beer.
Not real.
Hey, how about our buddy over there just chilling? Our four-legged friend. chilling, man.
And although I don't want to be one of those bar stools, it's going to be.
Yeah.
She's very comfortable. Slides a bar wrong. She's going to get pinched.
She's cute too, man.
Yeah.
Look at her go.
Oh, I was talking to her
Were
earlier.
you hanging out with her?
Yeah, she's great.
What's going on this weekend here, man?
So they got a lot of things going on. Tomorrow, with our buddies at Angry Fish, House, Indigo Reef, Savage Craft, some folks. They're all going to have some collabs going on. Specialties from Hazelwood and Deep Drift and Wild Heart. Music by the girls. North 40 band going to be here. So they got a few trucks. And then Terry, right up your alley, face painting.
I love face painting.
Yeah.
Man,
So, I mean,
I like my face painting. I like other people's faces. I'm so into face painting. Love it. Face painting freak. Matter of fact,
I just,
Monday I might just paint my face for the show.
well, now that we're on video, people can see.
Exactly.
I can see you as the face.
You sit at that table and just paint faces.
Not the face paint.
I can paint some faces.
That would be. That would be. I'd like to see that. Like, what kind of artist are you? Is this a like a modern day?
Real
Are you very
avant-garde
classical?
dude,
Yeah,
man. A very avant-garde dude.
yeah, like, see, like even little, like, hey, sweetie, like some little girl. Yeah, it's like scared kids. You
Mommy, what's Van Gogh mean?
what kind of well, anyway, come out and see us tomorrow at Draft with and a lot of our friends on there. Hazelwood
Yeah.
and Hank.
A lot of sample there, man. You got a great beer card goes on. That's part of the whole deal here. Also, Craft and Draft is part of a great beer card.
I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't. I'll just. I'll abuse it.
I was going to say you'll finish it in like a week.
I'll abuse it. So
Absolutely, you will.
they've taken it away from me. All right. So do I agree with Eli? This is like a J or Nick. We talked about it yesterday. Eli made some news yesterday.
You got the cuts too.
You probably need to get the cut list.
I will get the cut list.
Thank
There,
you. I don't have that in front.
that's what I'm here for.
Good. All right. You
I'll
can
get
find
the
that.
cut list for your life inputs while you start it up.
But yesterday, Eli said, I'm probably going to get in trouble with my commissioner, but I want automatic qualifiers. I want play-in games for the college football playoff. Doesn't really matter how many teams, although he did say he would do 4 for the Big Ten and SEC, 3 AQs for the ACC and Big 12, 1 for the highest ranked of 5/6 champion, and 1 at large, which basically means Notre Dame, you better earn that thing, because that's the only way Notre Dame can get in. So that'd be every year.
Eli, this is cut 6 at Bird today. This will be Eli Draper talking about what equals when he goes into play-in games and all this other stuff, a 30-team playoff. Hit it, Ed.
In my viewpoint of it, I think we should go back and try to find more ways to include teams. How do we get more people involved? Because that's better for the players. That's better for the player experience to have more people involved in the potential to play for a championship, and it's better for the fan bases. I think we all would agree that the 4 college football playoff games at home campuses was a huge win for college football. We need to expand that opportunity, that energy. So math could be wrong here, but if we did the 12, okay, and you had 4 automatic qualifiers, everybody thinks that's limiting. It's not limiting if you think about it from, you take those 4 automatic qualifiers and you divide that up into 8 opportunities, 8 play-in games. So now you're taking the SEC's playing in for 8, you're taking the Big Ten's playing in for 8. Since we've expanded the bubble to 16, give 3 to the Pac, 3 to the Big 12, 3 to the ACC, 1. Now you've got 30 teams. 30 teams. Now we're talking about an opportunity for 30 teams, 30 fan bases to be excited and engaged in giving revenue. You got 30 teams with players who have access to compete for a championship. And so for me, I think that makes a lot more sense. Again, when you're talking about the NFL playoff system, not only is it 14 teams, but you only have to be the best out of your 14 division. So you got to compete against 4 teams in order to make the playoffs. Again, when you're at the University of Missouri, if you say, hey, you just have to finish in the top 8 to have a chance to play in the playoffs, that's a win every day. And I'm all for that. I think that's awesome. 8 versus 9. Honestly, I think I've been for the 9 game. I think if it was about players and about fans, I think it's a 9-game schedule for the SEC. If it's about coach preservation, which, man, I get it, but if we're going to go to 11 humans deciding on a committee which are the 11 best teams, and we stay at 8, we ain't getting in.
I don't know what I need. If I need a shot of something, they don't have like liquor. Do I need a shot of something? Should I chug a whole bottle of something?
Shotgun something. Yeah.
I agree with virtually everything he said. Certainly in the theoretical aspect of it, I'm with him. And that last point is the most important point, and it's why I don't like flip flopping, but I have been. You called me what did the fish in the boat yesterday?
Boat, man.
I don't want the committee having as much sway as they do because I just don't know where the committee's head is, and I don't know for here.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no precedent. And I realize that we have only one 12 playoff under our belts. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So how many more might we need before we develop any precedent? Well, Terry, let me ask you something. Do we really think that some type of quote precedent was actually set in the decade that we had 4 schools? Yeah. So I mean, is there really even now? Do we know that there is precedent in how the basketball committee is? We know that if you're top 3 in your conference, most conferences, the big conference, you're getting in because you got 68 spots to fill. But I mean, so I want to take it out of the hand and then take Eli's point. Let's put it on the field. Let's put it on the field. And he's not wrong too when it comes to engagement. I will tell you this. From the start of any kind of playoff expansion talk, as a lifelong college football fan, I have never believed once that expanding postseason opportunity is going to have the inverse relationship of diminishing the importance of the regular season. I've never believed that because what you just said is absolutely right. If more schools have access, that makes regular season more.
And we can get back into this on the other side. But one thing I will say, he really did a great job of breaking down the percentage of teams in the playoff. And he was, if you go to 60, it's still a very low percentage, 103, 134.
If I'm not mistaken, there's like 19% in basketball. It's like 23% in baseball. And this would be 12%.
It's
I think
really,
it's 12%.
Yes, it's a very low percentage, especially he was comparing to the NFL's model. We'll come back and talk about this some more. I think it's very interesting.
Live draft on this Friday afternoon. Jay, Terry, the post.
Oh. Do we have a live there? Well, we got some accidents now to report in Charleston Highway northbound at South Carolina 30, Colonial Life, Bush River Road, Fontaine Road at 2 Notch, Morning Hill Drive at Bush River Road, Old Dunbar Road near US 21, US 136, Charleston Highway, Trent Holm Road at Highway 16 at Beltline Boulevard. Accidents plenty right now, so please take your time. Be careful, stay off your phone. You're live at Crap. Come on out, hang out, say hi. We're here till 6 in Columbia on Divine.
.434 on a Friday. Welcome back in. Post game quote sound here. I wanted to get a little bit more from him.
About the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we'll stick with that. Hang on. We'll come back to some sound in a second.
Here's my thought on that. Oh, it was just very interesting that here's a guy that put so much thought in. That was the best answer of any coach. Because, I mean, there's a dude that whether you agree or disagree with him, and I like this on it. Look, if you're going to go 4 qualifiers, which I don't like the 4 automatic qualifiers, but if you're going to go 4 automatic qualifiers, his model's the model.
Yeah.
If you're going to go 8 Qs, make it 8 teams and 1-8, 2-7, 3, 4, battling right in that first round. Then you get to the Final Four. Make it something where your conference. And he said it best. If there's 8 teams in the SEC, I can look at my fan base and say we can get in the top 8.
Yeah.
Shane Beamer can look at this fan base here and go, we can get in the top 8.
Yeah.
I mean, then all of a sudden, because Eli hit it really well with this comment. We're all here because of the fans and the players. And if we're going to have a playoff system, we need to make it fan-friendly and player-friendly about those two groups. And what he laid out is fan-friendly and player-friendly because now you've opened it up. Like you said, 30 different teams. You look at just the power conference. 8 teams in the Big Ten are going to have a shot. 8 teams in the SEC are going to have a shot. 6 teams in the Big 12 and the ACC. All of a sudden, now you're energized if you're sitting at NC State or North Carolina or hell, Maryland, for the love of God. Maybe you get in the top 8 in the Big 10. That'd be a miracle. But it's just the idea that all of a sudden everybody, like last year, think about last year at South Carolina. That was a thing because the playoff expanded to 12.
Right.
How much fun did we have at the end of the year?
Well, yeah, and you thought, again, I know there was a somewhat of a letdown when you realized it wasn't really. I thought the letdown came when the committee chair kind of really
said you had no shot.
Yeah, did the wrong.
Well,
no one else
Remember
is going to
that?
have. It's like, well, and if I'm the higher ups, whomever, Rich Clark or the Disney people or whomever, I'm like, dude.
Don't do that again.
Ever do that
Don't
again.
do that again.
All right. And to anybody who's going to have the job later, don't ever say that because you just wrecked a lot of things for the weekend. Whether you're being honest or not, sometimes shut up. But again, flaws with Eli's proposal are what do you do with the championship game unless 1 and 2 in terms of his. In terms of those 4 games in the conferences, 1 and 2 are still playing because there is still value, obviously, in being a conference champion. And I would tie a larger financial reward to being the conference champion, if nothing else. But you're not going to see the championship game go away. And so you're playing. If you're the conference champion, you're still playing for that seeding, but you're not getting the home game. There's a lot of flaws.
There's a lot of
still.
stuff to
There's
it.
still
Right.
a lot of things, and I think that's why we need to go to 16 because I think everybody needs to play at home at some point.
Yeah,
I firmly
I'm
believe
with you
that.
on
But I look, I'm with you in the sense that automatic qualifier has sort of an ick factor to it. But at the same time, I'm with Eli when he says it takes it out of the committee's hands, and that's what Tony Petitti of the Big Ten has said. The Southeastern Conference as a whole, I believe, is moving back towards the 5+11 because chances are pretty good that you'll get more teams in. And I think that's the right way to think about it. I think the Big Ten wants the 4 AQs because they're probably looking at it and going, I don't know, man, we're going to get 4 every year otherwise. And they probably won't. So, again, lots to think about. And the more I'm thinking about it, Terry, I'm starting to believe that we don't go to 16 for a while.
You might be right.
Because I just don't know that between now and Thanksgiving, you're going to get all of these things we just discussed and get those same people into one room and come up with one system.
You didn't get to the other one. SEC's got to go 9 games.
That's going to happen.
And once that happens, then that takes away one of the Big Ten's big pushbacks,
Then does the Big Ten get behind 5-11?
I think if the SEC goes to 9, they'd be more open to it. Look, here's my thing. I'm still on board with that Terry Ford guy's idea for a computer ranking.
Well, and again, there's the last thing that we need to get to.
I just don't think it'll happen, but I'd love to have it happen.
I don't know what it needs. I mean, I think, look, again, for those of you who haven't heard us talk about it, to me, and what Terry's saying too, some college football equivalent of the basketball net ranking. I wouldn't want to use it as the end-all be-all, but I think it could go a long way towards giving the Southeastern Conference schools and commissioner what they think wasn't there last year, and that is something else for the committee to base decisions on by strength of schedule, strength of record, those kinds of things. Tony Barnhart talked about it with us earlier in the week down in Atlanta. If you can find ways to measure that more successfully, because again, playing better non-conference games is something that a lot of people want for a lot of reasons. And yes, money is something that's valuable. Look, last year Carolina played Old Dominion, and maybe that was a game they needed. Maybe if they had played a power conference team, maybe they don't win that game. I don't know. This year you played Virginia Tech, but again, starting this year, y'all, 7 straight seasons, you're going to be playing a power, 2 ACC teams a year. I am so here for that, but maybe it's not going to last. I don't know. But I don't want it to go away. So I want a system that, to one of the words you've been using this week, rewards you for who you play. Think about if these, I don't know, Gonzaga playing North Carolina in December games went away, or Villanova playing Kentucky or something. I'm just making those kind of games went away in basketball. What if Carolina and Clemson didn't play in baseball because the two schools said, ugh, that's good. I don't know about that. We already
those games
because they already both play in a really hard conference.
Yeah,
well, okay, but you still do it.
Eli said something yesterday too. He goes, "We have no criteria here. There's no set process for these people in this room. Why don't we have a process?" And look, that's kind of what you're saying about setting up some kind of computer model. Look, to me, I'll say strength of schedule should matter. Non-conference strength of schedule should matter. Your one-loss record versus the top 25 versus Power 4 conferences.
And how your result. Where did you play?
Mm-hmm.
How'd you do? Think about it, man. Think about it. If there was a quad system in football, how much more might Carolina's win at Clemson, who won the ACC, have meant to the Gamecocks getting in? Maybe nothing. I don't know.
No, it would.
But you like to think that it would have.
Can I tell you this real quick?
If there was a measurement.
We're going to get into it next week because I broke all this down, and we'll save it for next week. Clemson's win, South Carolina's win over Clemson and Georgia's win over Clemson were the biggest non-conference wins in the SEC last year in the regular season.
Yeah.
Those are the biggest non-conference wins.
Wisconsin didn't do enough, did they?
Right. Wisconsin has a season like that.
Yeah.
Those are the two big
Bama,
wins. Because you went on the road against a Big Ten team, a Power 4 conference foe that has been a good program, at least solid. So at the end of the day, that win over Clemson in a quad system would mean a ton. Just like for Georgia, it would have meant a ton. And it's just one of those things.
That was a neutral game. They played in Charlotte.
Yeah, that's right. The Georgia game was.
I'm just saying.
So South Carolina's win at
on the
Clemson
road,
is even more
But
important.
I'm just saying.
Point.
But I was trying to remember where the Georgia Clemson game was.
I blanked on that. That was a neutral site. So really, if you go by that criteria, that win at Clemson was the biggest win the SEC had in the non-conference in the regular season.
Right.
So, and the biggest win, ironically, in the playoffs was Texas' win over Clemson.
Yeah.
So, point being is, I think that's the kind of way you look at this to reward. Beating a top 25 team at their place, that should matter a lot.
Right.
That should matter more than, beating Wake Forest.
Yes.
I think that's where we got to have a measurement, a process. We got to have something in place where this committee clearly sees that. Maybe you take it and make a computer number, and then you use the polls that matter, and you give all this information as committee to make them if you want to keep that committee, which I don't want to keep, but if you're going to keep it, give them an easy road.
Yes.
Quit making this so difficult.
You can keep them, but give them less to do.
Yes. It's like officials. We always say give them less judgment calls, right?
Give them less to think about.
Yes. I think that would be better myself.
I don't disagree. Wow, we did that whole segment and we didn't even mention Indiana cowardly getting out of the Virginia thing.
I'm disappointed in us. How about you? I'm kind of disappointed.
No, I'm kidding. I did not forget about it. All right. Lots more to do here from Craft and Draft on Divine Street. Do we have Jay or Renee?
Yes, we do, sir.
Oh, man. I'm excited to have one back at home. All right. Lots to do on this Friday. Jay Phillips, Terry Ford, Ed Burgett, Master Control. Post-game show coming back. guys not feeling like yourself as you're getting a little bit older, you're like, that doesn't seem right. Or a year or two, it'll get better. Chances are that's the wrong way to go about it. What you need to do instead is see our friend Dr. Dan Balknight and his team at the Men's Clinic. You get a one-on-one consultation that gets to the root of the issues because they get to know you, your daily habits, what's not working, what is working, what's what more are you looking for? No such thing as a one-size-fits-all treatment. Instead, you get to feeling better after you see Dan and the team because they are experts, medical experts in healthcare for men, and they're dedicated to making you feel like yourself again. Don't be that guy that wants to tough it out. And listen, it could be some things that are embarrassing. MENS. Learn more online right now. TheMen'sClinicSC.com. All right, welcome back in. Post-game show rolls on a Friday. Jay Phillips Terry Ford live at Craft and Draft on Divine Street. It's hopping in here. I guess everybody's got the early day off.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Call
It's not
our,
very smart by
call our
us.
program director and be like, dude, I've been working at media days all week. I wanna
That
knock
guy's
off
not even
early."
paying attention. That guy might be here somewhere drinking.
He's not. We could let Ed Bird like sing the hits in the final hour
We
of the
could.
show.
We could start see how
have
many
a
of these
beer.
we can knock off in an hour.
On
Speed
a day-
drinking.
on a day like
A
this.
little speed drinking.
Yeah, challenge me. Let's see what happens. Speaking of challenge me,
Oh, I got you here. You ready?
Jay or nay
Oh,
time.
Jay or nay. Here we
Let's
go.
do it.
Look at the SEC. The 16. The rundown of the top 16 in the SEC.
Yeah.
Jay or nay?
Yeah.
14 of the 16 teams will go to a bowl game. Only Mississippi State and Kentucky will not go bowling in the SEC.
Wow. Nay. That's a lot, man.
That
Somebody
is a lot.
So a couple other teams won't make it.
All right.
Who'd you say won't? Kentucky and Mississippi State?
And everybody else gets in.
Ooh, boy. No, somebody. I'm going to say nay. There will be someone else will not.
All right. Good deal.
Just
All
better not be the local team.
Jay or nay?
Yeah.
Jay or nay?
Yep.
Very quarterback friendly.
Yep.
Guru head coach.
Yep.
JJ McCarthy will have a good season. Jay or nay?
Okay. Well, before I answer this, I'm going to need you to at least put basic parameters of what you want me to
Okay.
say is a
I will say
good
this. Ready?
season.
He will finish in the top 15 in quarterback rating in the NFL. Jay or nay?
So that's top half plus
Yep,
one.
top half of the league. It's Jay or nay? Not
Nay.
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 Nay? All right,
He'll
nay.
finish 18th.
All right.
How's that?
Jay or nay?
I think he's good though, man.
See, I don't know what he is. I really don't.
He's good.
I really don't know what he's going to be in the
like you said,
NFL.
they got a friendly system. They won 14 games last
Yeah,
year.
I'm going to tell you what. Everything's built for him to succeed.
Yeah,
Is that
they
fair?
got a good defense.
Everything is built for him to succeed in Minnesota. I mean, they got one of the best defensive coordinators in the league,
Yeah,
Brian
they
Flores.
won 14 games.
It's going to be fun to watch that and see, because they're not going to ask him to do a lot, especially the first half of the year.
Yeah.
Dude, just go in there, just get your hands under the center and not the left guard. Make sure you're in the right huddle.
Right.
I mean, they're not going to ask him to do a lot that first half of the season. It is built for him to succeed. It really is. He didn't show me enough in Michigan to make me confident because remember, he wasn't the guy, he wasn't the cog in that machine.
Defense and run the ball.
Yep. So we'll see. But good one there for you on JJ McCarthy. All right. The Atlanta Braves will win the weekend series over the New York Yankees. Jay or nay?
Why you want to do this to me, man? You know what, Terry? Jay.
Jay.
Hell yeah.
That's the ticket as a Braves
Yes.
fan. By the way, the starting pitching,
I don't even know who started.
TBA Saturday, TBA
I don't even
Sunday.
know who
They
started.
don't know either.
I'm wearing my Braves t-shirt today.
Hey, if you ask
Well, one of them,
who's going
anyway.
to start Saturday and Sunday, he's like, hey,
Somebody.
was Glavin, Smoltz, or Maddox available?
Somebody.
All right.
The Braves did make a trade.
Yeah, kind
Or
of, sort of,
somebody.
something.
Well, that was a trade.
All right.
officially.
J.J. Watt just became the highest paid non-quarterback in football, has led the NFL in sacks the last
TJ
5 years. Yeah, T.J. Watt. Did I say J.J. Watt?
That's it,
T.J.
yeah.
Watt.
TJ.
T.J. Watt has led the NFL in sacks for the last 5 years. His Pro Football Focus rating versus the pass and the run was over 90 last year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
T.J. Watt is 31 years old.
Yeah.
And basically this is a 2-year deal
Yeah.
before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Jay or nay on the Steelers signing a 31-year-old with this kind of contract, sucking up about 13% of the cap.
Jay.
Jay.
Yeah. He's still great, man. And he's those dudes, those Watt boys, man. I mean, I don't even what was it that finally told you?
The injuries.
I mean, because otherwise they're like their give a bleep meter never shuts off.
The motor's always
yeah,
running, man.
So yeah, and right now that they still need that presence. So yeah,
You know what?
I'm-
You
I'm-
had to sign him.
I'm fine.
All right,
yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Jay or nay? A lot of talk about about Fleetwood Mac reunion with Lindsay and
Nay,
Stevie.
nay, nay, they won't
No.
be, it'll be Stevie and Lindsay, but
Ready?
Christine, R.I.P. Christine. You can't have
All right.
Fleetwood Mac without Christine.
Are you a
can't.
Fleetwood Mac guy, Jay or
Big
nay?
time.
Big time.
Love them.
But not a reunion.
Well, because
But
there's
just
no
Stevie
Christine.
and I know. So you
You
can't have. a
you
whole
can't have Fleetwood Mac without Christine. You can't. So no.
All right, good deal.
Nay.
All right.
Yeah.
Hour 3.
Hour 3,
Craft and Draft.
Jay.
Jay, you sure about hour
Yes,
3,
Jay.
Jay? All right, we've got a disabled vehicle, I-126 at I-26 westbound. Left lane is blocked because of a disabled vehicle. Then we have our accidents, our list of accidents happening right now. Charleston Highway northbound, South Carolina, 35 and 12th Street. Colonial Life Boulevard at Bush River Road. Fontaine Road at Two Notch. Morning Hill Drive at Bush River Road. Old Dutch Trenholm Road, Highway 16, North Beltline Boulevard, and stay away from US 76 Broad River Road. 2 accidents. One's right at I-20, the other's at Seminole Road. That's a check on your traffic. We'll get back live from Craft and Draft post-game show. Jay and myself. 5 o'clock news is next here on the game.
O'clock news time on this Friday. Welcome back in. It's also the final hour of the post-game show alongside Terry Ford. I'm Jay Phillips. We are broadcasting live today, not from Digital Drive at the College Football Hall of Fame, where we've been for 4 straight days, but we're at Crafton Draft on Divine Street. We've been out of the studios for a bit. Ed Bird's back there, though, running things for us. Come out and see us. As you can hear, the place is hopping. No pun intended. Come grab a pint or two and come say hey to us. We got a little bit of merch for you and the kids. What are those, bottle openers on it?
It's a bottle opener, only for beer, though.
Okay.
Only for beer. It doesn't open any other bottle but beer.
That's good. That's all.
Very specialized opener.
But we start with the news of Southeastern Conference Media Days preseason picks. They are out. We'll start with the predicted order of finish. The assembled media has chosen Texas to win the Southeastern Conference, just a little bit ahead of Georgia. So those are the teams predicted to be in the SEC championship game for the second straight season. Alabama picked third, LSU fourth. Then it's South Carolina in fifth. Maybe a surprise to some, but pretty good distance ahead of Florida, to be honest with you. Florida is in sixth, Mississippi 7, Texas A&M is 8. The second half of the conference predictions has Tennessee in 9th, then Oklahoma and Auburn, followed by Missouri, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, Kentucky, and Mississippi State brings up the rear. So Texas predicted to win the SEC. I picked Georgia to win the SEC again. The reasoning, very simple. They are loaded with talent like Texas and Alabama. Oh, yes, they're Georgia. And last year, Georgia saw Texas twice. And Georgia went 2-0 in those games.
And to your point, none of those games were where?
Neither of those games were in Athens. And you might say, well, Jay, one of them was in Atlanta. Hey, listen, the ability to get tickets in Atlanta is a whole lot different than trying to get tickets to go see a game in Athens if you are an opposing fan of the Bulldogs. So it's not a coincidence that Georgia beat Texas twice last year. So anyway, but hey, I got no problem. And this is July.
Yep. We'll see where it goes.
Media. Again, maybe pleasantly surprised for some folks around here, but Lenoris Sellers was picked as the number 1 quarterback in the Southeastern Conference. Way to go, Lenoris. At running back, Quintrevian Wisner.
I love that pick, by the way. Wisner had a really nice season last year.
Yeah. And Le'Veon Moss of Texas and Texas A&M, respectively. Then it's Ryan Williams and Cam Coleman of Alabama and Auburn at wide receiver. Ryan Williams, again, probably going to go out.
First click at wide receiver was Ryan Williams.
Yeah. And had to scroll all the way down to get him and then come back up.
Yeah.
Eli Stowers is the top tight end, on the offensive line. They don't do these by position.
No.
They do center by position. I'll tell you that in a minute. But the 4 top offensive linemen, Caden Proctor of Alabama, Caden Green of Missouri, good year for Caden, DJ Campbell of Texas, Austin Barber of Florida, and his teammate Jake Slaughter was named the number 1 center going into the season. On first team, D. Fildrick Falk of Auburn, Colin Simmons of Texas, and Christian Miller of Georgia. At linebacker, Anthony Hill of Texas, Whit Weeks, LSU, C.J. Allen from Georgia, and the 4 defensive backs, K.J. Bolden and Dalen Everett from Georgia, from Tennessee. And Georgia swept the first team specialists. Again, these are literally all Georgia players. Punter, Brett Thorson, kicker, Peyton Woodring, long snapper, Bo Gardner. Woodring was named the best kick-off specialist, and Zachariah Branch got both the return specialist and all-purpose player. So Georgia doing very well in that respect. And again, Georgia's got a lot of these guys on the first team defense. Again, I don't look. Somebody it could listen. Bama and LSU might play for the SEC title. I don't know.
Talent too.
Carolina might play Florida for the SEC title. I don't know, but I do know this: until someone knocks Georgia off, I'm going to give Georgia the benefit of the doubt as the best team in the Southeast.
I'm with you, man. I look. we can sit here and put them on paper, right? Georgia and Texas, and go back and forth all day long. I know. One guy has won 2 national championships.
Yeah.
One guy is perennially now. One guy was beaten by one team.
Right.
And the guy that coached that team is no longer around.
Right.
So until you knock off Kirby, I'm going to take Georgia.
Yeah.
And that might sound boring and dull, but if you're asking me to pick and be objective, I'm taking Georgia till I'm proven otherwise.
I agree.
We just do it. It's so funny how I don't think it's done on purpose, but I think people are looking at Georgia because of last year saying, well, they're falling back. If you want to think that, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you how to think.
Yeah, Georgia had a so-called down
How was that
last
down year, Jay?
They won the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, and then they beat the perceived big dog twice. So I'm with you. I don't go against Kirby until Kirby shows me why I should.
Yeah. We'll talk plenty more about SEC Media Days and some of those picks and some of the other great cuts from coaches and our guests coming up throughout the rest of the hour. But for now, we continue our integrated media headlines of the day. The Atlanta Braves back home tonight as Major League Baseball gets going again after the All-Star break in Atlanta. Braves hosting the New York Yankees, who have hit a little bit of a slide of late, if you will, in a relative sense. Spencer Strider on the hill for the Braves. He is 3-7 with a 3.94. Ian Hamilton will go tonight for the Yanks. He is 1-0 with a 3.47 and only 36 and a third innings pitched. 7:15 is the start time at Truist Park. On that note, the Atlanta Braves did make a trade yesterday. Don't get your hopes up, Braves fans. If you haven't heard about it, it's not that big a deal. Atlanta acquired starting pitcher, right-hander Dane Dunning from the Rangers.
Funny, he is still in the majors. Dane Dunning.
What's he, 30-something? I don't know.
He's got to be.
He's 30. He's only 30.
It feels like he's been around for a long time.
I guess that's not a
As for a pitcher, yeah, it's not too
bad. But he's 30. And the Braves sent Jose Ruiz and, I love this, cash considerations. Cash I understand, and considerations I understand. But when you put them together, Terry Ford, what exactly does that mean?
Is it like a hangover where you meet out in the desert somewhere and one guy gets out of a trunk of a car and you give a bag of cash?
The Rangers could go like, we consider that you should pay us $1 million.
Or we're considering giving you cash. I give you cash.
What else you got?
We're not going to tell you.
We got a bag of balls.
We got a nice coffee table.
We got some Nike cleats in the back that we don't wear. Yeah.
What do you say? How about that?
Coors Light umbrella for the terrace out here. Anyway, that's what happened. Dane Dunning this season, let me get to it, is let's see, he had a 3.38. Only pitched 10 and 2/3 innings this year. And he's been back and forth between the minors and the majors.
He's an arm.
Yeah, it's somebody to fill a spot in the rotation because the Braves have lost a bunch of starting pitching. The Open Championship has concluded day 2, and shockingly, Scotty Scheffler is at the top of the leaderboard. No, seriously, he was 7 under today. Brilliant round for him. Matt Fitzpatrick is at 9 under par. He was 5 under the event just 2 years ago. Brian Harmon finished early this morning, at least America time. He is 8 under, 6 under today. Hao Tong Lee from China had a brilliant day as well. He is at 8 under par. Some other big names. Terrell Hatton of England is at 5 under. Harris English at 5 under from the United States. Tony Finau, 4 under for the championship. He is 3 under today. Rory had a pretty good day. He is, of course, the local favorite as a Northern Islander. He is 2 under today, 3 under for the championship. He is tied for 12th. And there's a big group, Terry, at 2 under par that includes Ludwig Goberg, Sandra Schauffele, Justin Rose, Tommy Fleetwood. So a lot of guys still very much in the hunt at the Open Day 3 tomorrow from Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland. So there you go. That's our integrated media headlines of the day, brought to you by Integrated Media. By the way, the Integrated guys looking for brand new installers and technicians as their business grows. If you want to grow your career with great people to work with and work for, Integrated Media Inc. If you're looking for a career change and working with some great people that are constantly busy, integrated media could be for you. All right.
Weekend gig for us?
No. Well, I know how to like reboot my computer to different, like you get like different like concert or movie or thing. I could like do that.
Can you make a picture? Be the TV look like a painting?
No.
Neither can I.
I mean, I have a screensaver that does that. I know how to pull that up on my Roku box.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
I guess we're a little underqualified.
I actually one time it's funny. I said, well, all right. I know nobody cares. One time I did have a problem, and it's just like sometimes your electronics just go whatever. It wasn't like anything bad, and I called Michael Geddes, and I was like, hey, I did this, and this, and I still couldn't get it to work right. And he goes, you want to come work for us? Like you check through all the boxes.
How funny.
So I was like, all right, maybe I do know what I'm doing. Anyway, if you really know what you're doing, call Integrated Media. Terry and I will come back on the other side. A lot more thoughts from media today, some more sound from some of our favorite moments of the week. Perhaps some swag, some merch. As Elijah likes to remind me, it's fire.
Fire. It's fire, man.
You're listening. Oh, God.
My kid says that every other word.
You're good.
Fire, Dad.
That's right.
Fire.
It's busting.
Low key. Low key fire.
We got to stop. It's the post-game show. Terry, ask me what I'm doing tomorrow.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Cutting the grass. Ask me what I'm using.
Scissors?
Nope, my Toro Time Master that I got from Kato's Power Equipment. But thank you for asking, Terry. I appreciate that. This weekend, And then we went straight to Atlanta. Grass needs cutting. And if yours is like mine, then you want to do it well and you want to do it fast. And that is why Ben Cato and Matt Stedman hooked me up with my Toro Time Master last year, and it has changed the way I do my lawn mowing. If you're ready to do that for yourself, stop in and see them. They'll put you in the right one, too. They gave me choices. I've said before, it's like going to a tailor for your clothes. You can buy off the rack at a big box store, but are you really sure what you're getting? When you go to the tailor and get that suit fitted, it's perfect for you, and that's what Cato's can do for you. Do it for yourself. Do it for a living. 4012 West Beltline Boulevard. Cato's Power Equipment. 5:17 on this Friday. Welcome back in. Post-game show is live today at Crafted Draft on Divine Street in, well, not say Shandon. We're in Shandon for sure. I was getting ready to say up in 5 Points. We're not in 5 Points. We're up the hill from 5 Points. And I should know because, again, I grew up in this neighborhood, so I know what it is. I was just confusing myself. Like I said, I grew up about 5 blocks that way and 1 block over.
That way over?
Yep.
That way and over, huh?
I don't live here anymore, but I don't live too far.
You live 5 minutes from here.
About 5 minutes. About this far from my house.
You'd be happy.
I'd be ecstatic, Terry.
Yes, you would be.
I'm happy
it's
to
in your
do a
circle
remote.
of life.
I'm happy to do lots of remotes.
In the
I'm
J. Phillips circle of
ecstatic
life. Yeah.
when I don't have to go far. I freely admit that I rarely venture too far from not so much from the house like I'm a homebody. It's just that everything I need is within about a 3 or 4 mile circle.
You like it that way?
I do. I lived in this city my entire life, and I have never lived farther than 3 miles from the State House.
Really?
Other than a very brief time when I was very small, and my parents were part of the first folks to live in Whitehall out in Irma, which
That's
now
a
a lot of people almost consider to be in town.
Right. Back
Right?
then, that was out there,
Oh,
man.
dude.
That was out there, bro.
Like,
Uh-huh.
you know, there was no Harbison yet, right? And like, I mean, yeah, like Old Bush River Road, like there's like one little general store on the way to the dam and up to the lake. And now, you know, you got Saluda Shoals and you got everything. I mean, out that way, but now here, yeah, I'm good with that.
You're
I'm
good?
fine. I live in Columbia. So I'm good with it.
You got fun. Hey, you're good. You got everything you need, right?
So I'm good. But I appreciate you asking if you didn't ask.
I'm here for you, man.
SEC media. What was your maybe like favorite thing, and what surprised you the most? Perhaps I'm putting you on the spot.
I know. My favorite thing. I told you this earlier. There's a couple things. Look, I like the vibe of SEC media. Reminds me of obviously Radio Row at the Super Bowl, where everybody's jumping on each other's shows, everybody's helping each other out. You know, you're doing your show, you come do mine, I do yours, whatever. I like the brotherhood we get from us media folks during that week.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm very impressed with Sankey and how he goes from market to market. I really am. I was kidding with Tyler Elijah. Said, "Yep, I've done Super Bowl week. Roger Goodell doesn't sit down with all 32 markets, right? I just like.
Does he sit down with anybody?
Zero. He does the state of the league and then runs off. I like the idea that the conference gets it. You know, I do. I give them a ton of props for that. And when I was watching Sankey going down our row. I mean, obviously he was with us, but also just watching with every market he jumped with one of the stations. And look, I wish we were all really smart and creative, but we're asking the same questions for the most part, right? A lot of it, yeah. And he's thoughtfully answering everything.
Yeah.
He doesn't give you, oh my God, that's the 10th time I've been asked that this week. I'm just really impressed with Sankey and how he handles his business at SEC Media Days and the way he goes through to the markets. What surprised me, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was surprised sitting there listening to Drinkwitz going, oh my God, this dude is, I'm not saying I agree or disagree, but I'm like, just the thought that guy put into like a playoff or how many conference games you play and why it's important. They were talking about going off, and I forget where they went now, but they went to a part of the world, I guess, where, you know, they went and helped, and they helped with, you know, taking care of these people and helping building things for them and doing stuff for them, kind of like that bonding kind of trip you would do, but they went and did it for the greater good.
Right.
And Drinkwitz was talking about that. I was really impressed with Drinkwitz on the stage.
I'm not.
That was my surprise.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that. And as I said earlier, I don't know what that says about me because I
felt dirty.
I have been rather outspoken of my. I don't want to say dislike because that's not. I'm not a mean guy like that. But I just, you know, I just think he's got that. As Tyler said, and maybe I won't agree directly with Tyler's wording, or I might. The most punchable face in the SEC. But I think Eli owns some of that. I think he's okay with that. I think like a lot of head coaches, however they may choose to do it, his manner puts attention on him in a way that takes attention from his players.
Mhm.
Make it about me, and not about me in an ego way, but I'm here. Y'all go do what you need to do. I'll take the heat. I'll
Right.
take the pressure. And I think he is good about that. And again, as I said earlier today about his playoff things, at least in theory, I think what he says makes a lot of sense because I want what he wants, and that's to take these things out of the hands of the committee. In terms of Sankey, you're 100% right. And I, as you and I were talking, I know you didn't do media days when Mike Slive was alive. RIP to a wonderful man. And we knew for a few years that Greg was going to take over. He had been the number 2 guy, and he had been around, and we knew who he was. And that was always, Greg's going to take over. They're not going to do a search. Greg's going to take over.
Mhm.
And he does. He gets it, but it's this is what it is here. It's and I thought Cole Kubelik made a good point to you and me when we talked about will they condense this or will they change this? And he's like, just think about the drive times and the access and what Radio Row and what the event means to fans all across the conference. Like you can't replicate that.
Right.
So in that part, my favorite thing, I just our good friend Ryan McGee.
Oh, I mean, you know what? I forgot about that.
McGee.
He was so good, wasn't he?
McGee, you could have. I mean,
he was so.
What
good.
you've heard me say before because you and I have talked about this, and I know Elijah and I talked a lot about it. And I'm making an analogy here. I love the inside the NBA guys. Shaq and Kenny and Chuck and Ernie, they could talk about watching paint dry for 4 hours a night, and I would sit there with rapt attention as they debated the merits of how to watch paint dry. Ryan McGee's the same way.
Yeah,
he just the way he can tell you a story about anything,
and it's interesting.
He's just he engages you like in that. In a way that just a lot of people can't, which makes him such a great storyteller.
You know what I like about him too? He's that guy you see on TV or hear on the radio.
Yeah.
He's a genuine dude, and I always respect that. Because look, we've been around people in this business who are so phony. It's and I can't stand phony, can't stand hypocrites. And Ryan McGee is just a genuine guy.
Yeah.
He is who he is, on air, off air. And that's one thing, and that's a good one with McGee because he was fabulous. Real quick, I want to get this because you brought up Eli Drinkwitz and what he does about putting the focus on himself. Grab cut 8 real quick, Ed Bird, for us with Eli Drinkwitz. He was asked a question about Missouri not getting quote-unquote respect despite the fact they've won 10 games, double-digit wins in back-to-back years. Cut 8, Ed, real quick.
Yeah, I kind of addressed this earlier with SEC this morning. If you get caught up, Coach Saban calls it rat poison. I think it's rat poison either way. Praise and blame are both the same. You really can't care about it either way. We have a something to prove mindset. There's all of us, whether you're talking about our coaching staff or players, we all have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. But at the end of the day, in the fourth quarter, 2-minute drive, that's not what you think about. You think about your trust and belief in each other. You think about doing your job at a higher level. So you can use it as temporary motivation. But in the key moments, it's really more about your belief in each other. And that really is what drives us. It's our belief in our brotherhood. It's our belief in our Elite Edge program. It's our belief in our always compete mentality. It's the development of trust and respect that we have with each other. It's having fun while we're doing this. That really drives us in our success. And so other people's opinions, somebody asked me what the difference was over my 5 years being here. In the first couple of years, I really cared what y'all thought about me. Now I really don't. I don't care. I'm here to represent my family, my wife and my 4 beautiful daughters. I'm here to represent the University of Missouri and make our football team proud. And outside of that, I really don't care what anybody else thinks.
I love that answer. That's why I wanted to play it. I know you would love it. My man just said, "I really don't care what you think anymore."
Well, you can't. At some
and
point,
you can't.
You just can't. And again, I think he knows. I think that's an answer that speaks to his self-awareness.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate that in the sense you and I have these conversations about someone who may be sitting to your immediate left. You have to be self-aware
Who is that guy?
at times, and you just can't always worry about it, man. And I do think he's a good. I'm serious. I still am not a huge fan of his personality. I'm not, and I won't shy away from that. And I think he understands that a lot of people that cover the league feel that way about him. And maybe I have a different. But maybe we here locally feel even stronger about him in a negative way
Mhm.
because let's face it, he's had Carolina's number.
Yeah, sure.
You know,
Mhm. When you're losing to the dork, it drives you crazy.
it's just right because you're
Yeah.
like you're like I mean again in only like two of the in one of those games Missouri was the better team when Carolina lost.
Mhm.
In every other one, including the game at App State,
Mhm.
like why'd you lose to him? Why'd you
Mhm.
lose to them? You're more talented than them, but they found a way to beat you, and it gets under your skin. It's like digging into your under your
And
fingernails.
he can get under your skin.
And he wants
Yes,
to.
exactly.
He knows he is,
Mhm.
and that's the thing about him. But I'm telling you, I don't think he's long for Missouri. I think if they overachieve in a relative sense this season, and I'm not sure what that looks like. Certainly, if they were to say win 9 or 10 again.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, some school out there, some AD is going to have to go to his board, go to his president, go to his boosters and say, y'all, we better get this guy
Mhm.
before somebody else does because somebody else will. And I don't know if that's next year or not, but again, a lot of the things he's saying as he grows into this league and he grows into his confidence, he's done a lot better job. I really do. I feel like I need to swig a Pepto in a shower when I'm saying these things. But he's got fact to base all this on. You know what I'm saying? He really does.
Yeah.
I have found, so maybe that's, to your point, maybe that's my biggest surprise of the week. I have come out of this week with just a lot more appreciation for the job that guy's doing, man.
You know what with him that I liked was he got up there and spoke real.
Yeah.
Where everybody else just spoke the cliches and the normal stuff.
Listen, there were a couple of coaches that were just absolute cliche machines.
Yes, but Eli was real. I give him props for that. Drive around the SEC. I got an Oklahoma question for you, sir.
All right, we'll do that for you as we're live at Craft and Draft on this Friday. It's the post-game show.
Time to see the latest in what's happening in our world of traffic, which has been, just to be honest, has been a little clunky this afternoon. Right now, accidents, I-20 westbound of Fairfield Road, exit 70, I-26 Piney Grove, US 176 Broad River Road at I-20 as well, US 176 Broad River Road at Seminole Road. I would stay away from US 176 and Broad River Road, just saying. Find alternate routes, because I guarantee you it's probably a mess in that area with 2 accidents. So just kind of find yourself another outlet, another direction to go. That's a check on your traffic. We'll come back here. Drive Around the SEC is next here on the postgame show, live from Craft and Draft on Divine in Columbia, right here on the game.
All right, 25 minutes in front of 6 o'clock. It is indeed Drive Around the SEC time, or as we joked all week long, we were in Atlanta. We've been doing that all week, so may as well keep that party going. Speaking of which, cheers. I can do this on. I'm at a beer
sure,
place.
Ready.
There
you go, buddy.
Coffee, huh? I'm having a Through the Valley IPA from somewhere in New York.
Nice. I wasn't traveling. I'd join you.
Well, that's good. I mean, this is going to be
Drink
the
it
one.
for both of us.
All right, I'll do what I can.
You're the man.
Then
I know you can do that. Have confidence in you after watching you for 3.5 years.
A hamburger across the street, I think.
Where are you going?
Right there.
Right there, over there?
Right
there. Is that? How good are those burgers
good.
over there?
Yeah, good.
Really? Okay.
I wouldn't lie to you, man.
I have passed that place
you,
many times. Well, you'd
now.
lie to me about a lot of things,
but
not food. Does that sound about right?
Ooh.
Good? Good?
That's got my name on it. That's nice and hoppy. All right, you had a question for me about Oklahoma.
Yes. All right, so Oklahoma is preseason number 10, correct?
I think that's right, yeah.
Was it 10?
Sounds right.
Double check.
Let me double check.
Let's make sure we're right.
Around there, yeah.
Oklahoma's 10.
Yeah.
Preseason order finish.
Let's just say they are.
This last season's 10th place team in the SEC was Florida at 8-4.
Okay.
Does that keep Brent Venables' job?
I'm gonna not cop out on you.
Let's say he's 8-4 and does not get blown out of any games. Let's say they're competitive, but they're 8-4.
Tell me how you lost.
All right, let me get to a schedule.
And tell me who you lost.
Hold on, watch this. Let me get to the schedule. Give me a sec.
Like if you find a way to win 8 games and one of them is winning the Red River game.
All right, let me give you that.
I'm gonna
take a look at this. I'm gonna take a look at their.
You beat Alabama again.
I'll give you the.
And they got LSU, right?
Yep. Okay, here we go. Ready? All right, they'll beat Illinois State. They'll beat Temple. They'll beat Auburn, Kent State.
Okay.
They will.
So you're 4-0 right there.
Right. You'll beat Ole Miss. That's 5.
Where's that game?
That game's at home.
Okay.
You'll beat Missouri at home. That's 6.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. To get to 8, this schedule is so difficult. They are going to have to get 2 wins out of Texas, South Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU.
And I know they play in Columbia. They play in Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously a neutral game. Where's the LSU game?
LSU game that's in Norman. They also get Michigan.
That game's in Norman.
Yeah. They got to pull a couple wins out of that to get to 8.
You're going to have to, of those, you're going to have to come to either Columbia or Knoxville and win one of those.
Or steal that home game against LSU, which I don't think you will.
I don't think they will either.
So basically, to win 8, they're going to have to win a couple of really good games, right?
They can beat Michigan.
So let's say they go 8-4, and obviously they're going to win. They're going to have 2 good wins.
That Michigan game's week 2, right?
I think that 8-4 keeps Venables' job. That's a tough schedule. If he goes 8-4 with that schedule, he keeps his job.
If you go 8-4 and you lose to,
I think they lose to Texas, Bama, and LSU.
All
Is that
right.
fair?
Yeah.
So
okay. That means you got to beat 2 of Carolina, Alabama, and Tennessee.
Yeah.
And those are all on the road.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
Man,
see,
that's hard.
That's what I'm saying. If he goes 8-4, I think he keeps his gig. That's a tough schedule. I don't see 8 wins for Oklahoma.
Wow.
I just don't.
That's hard.
I think 7 is the ceiling on the schedule.
Well, there again, then, if you go 7-5, I don't know, man.
This is not easy for old Mr. Venables. That's why I brought this question up to you.
I don't know. Yeah.
This is not easy, bro.
Because 7-5 and being competitive could say, all right, because you look, here's the thing too. Not that it matters as much as it may seem, but remember, you're going to be impressing your new athletics director. Because just to remind all of you, if you didn't hear, maybe you've been at the beach or on vacation this last couple of weeks or something, Joe Castiglione, who's been the AD at Oklahoma for 28 years, announced his retirement effective once they hire someone. But he announced it. He had told the administration over a month ago, and they're now in the process. So they'll have a new AD here in a couple of weeks. I don't think it takes them until at least, look, school starts before kickoff, but by kickoff, they'll have a new AD.
Yeah.
If not by the time, really, I think they'll have a new AD by the end of this month. I mean, it's only it's July 16th.
Yeah.
They got 2 more weeks of this month alone.
Yeah.
So they've really been searching for over a month when you think about it. They'll have their new AD shortly.
They got plenty of guys with reputations who have worked in some way at Norman over the last 20 years.
Yeah. So anyway, the point I make is, again, you're impressing your new AD. And what does he see in you to keep you around? Because you made a point earlier in the week when he was on the podium and we talked about Oklahoma. They want to keep him.
Yeah, they like him.
You talked to some of the guys. You did a hit with Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And they told you
they want to keep him. They like him.
And you always want to keep
in a lot of ways.
Everybody, you want to keep your
guy. You never
guy.
hire a guy to fire a guy.
Right.
You don't, unless you're Florida.
Well, so, but yeah, wow, man. When you pose it like that, but listen, I don't know what's going to happen when Oklahoma comes to Columbia, but I can't sit here and tell you, or Knoxville for that matter.
Yeah.
But Terry, in the grand scheme, it's Oklahoma, and I can't tell you that. Oh, I'll be shocked if Oklahoma beats South Carolina, or I'll be shocked if Oklahoma beats Tennessee. I can't feel that way as someone who follows college football.
I think one of the things, and you're not wrong, because that's what we all do, right? We all have that, especially Oklahoma has earned it we went over the 70 years roughly of high quality football for the most part at Oklahoma. So we just say this, they'll get it right at some point. We just always say that about Oklahoma, because except for the John Blake and Howard Schnellenberger era and Gary Gibbs, they've gotten it right for the most part our whole lifetime. But so I guess I'm like you in some ways. I'm like, look, Oklahoma is Oklahoma, and eventually they'll get back to being Oklahoma because they just got too much. But I guess I'm trying to pull myself back from that and just trying to look at this year. I am not sold on Venables. The schedule is really difficult. So if they go 7-5,
here's the thing.
I don't think he keeps his gig.
To come back to the point I'm making, you're probably right about that. But to come back to the point I'm making, we really shouldn't be shocked when Oklahoma beats anybody.
Oh, no, we shouldn't.
And yet, as Oklahoma football creeps into that territory, that's the danger.
Yeah.
It's like, can you believe Oklahoma went to Knoxville and Columbia and won?
Yeah.
Because that's why I was saying earlier, you and I were talking a couple weeks ago, like, Oklahoma's going to say, we're Oklahoma.
We should.
If they were playing the Steelers, they'd be like, we're Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
So, and that's just who they are. And it's fair. It's fair. They've earned that. The history tells you that. But I think they should beat Michigan at home.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Illinois State, Michigan, Temple, the Auburn game is in Norman. Kent State, there's 5 right there. And Missouri's at Norman.
Again,
I don't know.
That's a life. That's until Missouri left the conference. That's a school that they generationally pummeled.
Yes. So, if we give them the benefit of the doubt there, that's 6. But the rest of these games, man, when you're getting Texas in the State Fair game, you're coming to Williams-Brice, you're going to Neyland, you're playing in Tuscaloosa. LSU is better than you. Maybe you could come to Columbia and go to Knoxville and playing well, you pull those 2 and you get to 8. But man,
I suppose those feel like the two
But can I
that
ask
are
you-
more the
but-
most likely.
but let's be real. There's also a very high percentage possibility Oklahoma will not be favored in either one of those games.
If you were making the book
Because
today,
right now, look at
no,
where they at. They're
no.
behind both Tennessee and South Carolina in the preseason
I think
poll.
if you're making that book today, Carolina and Tennessee are 5 to 8 point favorites.
I was going to say at least 5 or 6 point favorites. So I mean, man, like I say, we'll see, but this is tough.
Yeah.
And look, as much as they like that dude, you got to do better than 7 wins in Norman. And really, if you get look, if Venables finds a way to pull 8 wins against this schedule, that might save him.
Yeah.
But at some point, that patience is going to run out. The new AD is going to be sitting there going, hey, Brett, I want to show you the last 70 years of Oklahoma football.
Yeah. Well, that's our drive around Norman / the SEC. Well, we went around the SEC.
We got to went around a little bit there. Yeah, we did.
That's good, though. It's a hell of a story, man. Oklahoma this year is one of the bigger stories to watch in the SEC. That's the drive around the SEC. We're live at Craft and Draft. A little Jay versus the Internet is next.
Mayweather's one of the best defensive fighters you'll ever see. Pacquiao might throw 300 punches, and guess what? 296 of them miss. That's how good of a defensive fighter Mayweather was. And I can't stand him as a human being. It's turn.
11 minutes in front of 6 o'clock here on a Friday afternoon. Welcome back in. Final few minutes of the postgame show. Jay and Terry with you. Ed Bird at Master Control. We're live at Craft and Draft. Lively crowd in here on a Friday afternoon and a very warm day in the capital city. I got 94.
What does it feel like?
137.
You know what? I think you're right. I think you're correct.
I'm gonna stay with that anyway. We had a start bench drop today, but we knew how it was going to go. Lenora Sellers runs away with it. Basically, it's the way we gave it to you. Sellers, Nussmeier, Manning, and start bench.
All right,
drop.
who are you benching and who are you dropping?
Look, I voted Nussmeier, but I'm going to start. I'm still going to start Lenoris.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I voted Nussmeier number one, but I voted Nussmeier number one for the reasons I gave earlier. But I'll let a little bit of the
Homer in you,
the fan in me
it's
come
right.
out. You know,
I'd
I know where I grew up. And went to
start
school.
Sellers, bench Nussmeier, cut. Drop
You made
Manning.
a good point, and I was really torn. Like I said, the reason I put Nussmeier number one is he's the only returning 4,000-plus yard passer. I have every reason to believe he's going to do that and more again.
Absolutely.
They are legit national championship contenders. I think Carolina is a contender, and that doesn't mean they're illegitimate when I say that LSU is legit, but I do think LSU from a full roster perspective is still ahead of South Carolina.
No, on paper, yeah.
So in that respect, that was the nod.
Mine was just Sellers could affect the game with his legs.
And you're right
was
about
my
that.
thing.
And that's so I feel that way too.
So we're both dropping Arch.
Yeah, by the way, speaking of Gamecock quarterbacks, or at least you hope, Landon Duckworth will be making his announcement tonight
About
at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, yeah.
He is down. He's from Alabama, and he's down to Carolina and Auburn. So, by all accounts, Chris and Wes say it's basically feels like a 50-50. Both schools have done a good job with him. He's got a good rapport with Mike Shula and Shane Beamer. He had a good rapport earlier with Dow Loggins, and kind of got rebuilt a little bit just when Dowell left, but he knew Shane and Mike, so no way of knowing, and I don't predict these things because that's not what I do.
Look, we can predict it and be wrong easy. You don't know. Look, the mind of an 18-year-old, you don't know till they pick you, and then guess what? That doesn't mean they're still coming, right? It's just a verbal.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it. Nobody stops recruiting.
What happens today?
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, Carolina even said that about the kid up in Rock
Yeah,
Hill.
we'll keep recruiting.
Yeah, he's going to A&M. Well,
You didn't hear Shane say this. Well, we'll leave that one alone.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Hopefully they get Duckworth. I look at Auburn. I look at South Carolina's quarterback rooms. I feel like the easier path to try to start, if you look at them both in South Carolina, if Lenoris balls out like everybody thinks he's going to, he'll go to the NFL. I think Duckworth will have more opportunity at South Carolina than you do at Auburn. You got the 5-star kid that came in this year, the freshman at Auburn. Plus, Jackson Arnold can stay 2 more years.
Yep.
So, but then again, none of that stuff, you're just trying to think logically.
That's right.
Good luck with that, right?
Yep.
Well, you
All
ready?
right. Yeah, Jay versus the internet.
Justin Verlander. You know Justin Verlander? I know one-loss record doesn't matter anymore in baseball when we judge pitchers. Do you know Justin
Is that the
Verlander?
one that's married to Kate Upton?
Yeah. So
Okay.
he wins already, right? He wins.
a big win.
0-7 on the year, sir, for the Giants. But in 6 of his 16 starts, he's thrown at least 6 innings.
Okay.
Ready? Over under 5 1/3 innings for Justin Verlander tonight.
Who they play?
Oh, I had it right here. Hold on. Let me get it back.
Yeah, I need to know this.
You know what? I had it, and then I lost it off the top of my head. Hold on. Giants tonight. They are taking on the Blue Jays in Toronto.
Under.
Okay. Scotty Scheffler, phenomenal second day at the British.
Yes.
10 under.
Yes.
Scotty Scheffler of the field for the weekend.
Oh. Okay. The field. I mean,
Yeah,
I gotta.
you have to,
I
right?
gotta take the field.
Yes.
But I mean, if Scotty wins, I'm not gonna be surprised.
How close are you taking Scheffler over the field? Tell the truth.
Like
Tell the truth.
52-48. Right?
Dude, he is playing at such a high level. It's
Yes.
ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Yes. Uh-oh.
All right. No.
Uh-oh. Over under. Let's see. I give me the white one.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say the big one. You're going to take the big one on the
They're
over
both
under?
pretty big. They
I
don't
couldn't
like
see
each
the other one. Yeah, but the other one's got that like poodle thing going.
Yeah.
I go with the one that doesn't have the poodle thing going.
Yeah, that was almost.
I'm
a
going
thing.
non-poodle.
That was almost a thing.
That could have been a thing.
Yeah.
That could have been a thing, and as long as it didn't go over here on us.
If you can't really hear what we're talking about, there's a lab and like a labradoodle, and they didn't hit it off.
Really quick. All right.
Yeah.
The A's on the road, 21-26. The Brewers, 33-17 at home. Milwaukee get the home W.
Yes.
And finally, does Rory finish in the top 5?
Oh wow!
Right now he's sitting way out of the top 5.
He's tied for 12th. Yeah. I'm pulling for Rory. Give me Rory.
This is fun at Craft and Draft.
Yeah. There
Have
you
a
go.
good weekend, man.
Yeah, you too. Thank you, Edward.
Do it Monday. Good
See
job,
you on
Edward.
Monday.
See you Monday.